Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to talk about patch 1.2. It's also called Buns, and in patch 1.2 there is a lot of changes. There's a few major changes and then there's a ton of bug fixes. Now I'm not going to go over all of the bug fixes because then this video would last an hour, but I am going to cover a few of the more important ones, and I'm also going to go through all of the major updates. Before we go into the video, if you would please click that subscribe button, it would help me out a lot. I don't normally ask for that in the beginning of the video because I believe in providing some form of value or content before asking for subscribers. But I'm going to do it today because I'm aiming for the 500 subscriber mark. That would really mean a lot to me and my channel. So thank you in advance. And now let's go on to the updates. So the first part of the update is the fast speed, or the fast combat speed, and what this does is that it actually more or less doubles the speed of the AI when the AI is moving. Now I did this test on a map where there was 37 enemies, and I did 5 runs where I did it slow speed, pretty much the same setup every time, and the average AI turn was between 2 minutes 10 seconds, 2 minutes 20 seconds, thereabouts. Then I did 5 more combats on fast speed, and the average time was 1 minute and 10. Basically, it cuts about half the time of the AI turn. Now, when you only have 5 or 6 enemies, that's not really a big issue. If you, for instance, play with the custom settings and you have 5 times the enemies, it will mean a lot even in the beginning of the game. And later on, when you meet 20 plus enemies, it will also mean quite a lot. In the developer stream, they talked about not using it as a new player because you needed to see what the AI was doing. But I will say that even on double speed, once you get the hang of the game, you can quite clearly follow the AI even on double speed. So I'm guessing most people will turn on double speed pretty early in their gameplay, even new players. But it's a nice feature, and it definitely speeds up the game later on.
Yes.
Now the second part of the update is the inaccurate attacks may hit other body parts. Let's say you do burst fire and you aim for the arms. Now it's a little bit hard to see whether you actually hit something other than the arm you are aiming at, because in the snipe it only tells you that you are aiming at the arm, not whether you actually hit the arm or something else. One of the few minor things they added was the ability to see how many attacks you can actually do with your Overwatch. In this case, you can see I have 9 AP and max attacks 2. So if anything moves into my Overwatch cone, the max number of attacks I can do with Ivan in this case is 2. And of course, they also made the run and gun animations a little bit more fluid.
You shall fall for every one of us.
So one of the other changes that was made was the Richochet changes. And this basically means that every bullet that hits a wall or a hard surface will have a chance to ricochet off the wall and do damage. The damage has been nerfed quite a bit. So if you hit a wall and it hits someone else or some part of the... It should make for some interesting and weird situation where you can actually shoot people around corners.
Yes.
It's not really precise. It's more intended as if you miss something or hit a wall, you might accidentally damage some of the bystanders or some of the civilians. But as you can see, it clearly works that if you aim at the wall, some of the bullets will ricochet and hit people standing nearby. The 8 damage I did is not exactly the same as if I shot him directly. I'm pretty sure that will be a lot more devastating. Now also, when you do free aim at walls, if you have the ability to do several modes of fire with your gun, you now have the ability to press F and choose between single shot, burst fire or auto fire. So there's now an option to actually choose between the fire mode. And again, if you want to do single shots, you can do that. But of course, if you want to shoot around the corner, you probably want to do auto fire. Another, to me, big part of the update is the improvements for modders, which improve various aspects of the modding, especially regarding weapon modifiers, and there's also some improvements to the Blender exporter. It's something that the modders use to make new mercenaries and stuff like that. And I do think it's very important that Haemimon Game keeps catering to the mod community, because the mod community is definitely what's gonna keep this game living for a long time. It's another minor thing that was added in this patch, which is actually not really a new feature, but more like an oversight from Haemimon Games, is that knives, for instance, can now be scrapped. And you can scrap one or you can scrap all, which also means that if you have a stack of 2, you can scrap all and get 2. Of course, if you don't want to scrap them, you have to split them up, and you can scrap one at a time. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into the latest. There was also some updates to the photo mode option. We have some new sliders here. Vignette, explosive focus intensity. We had that before, but now there's also a saturation. There's a defocus strength. There's a focus depth, and there's a depth of field, which of course makes it so that you can make even better photos now. Which of course makes it so that you can make even better and cooler photos now with the new photo mode options. I did go over the photo mode in an earlier video, so you can go look at it there, but basically it just got improved a bit. There was a little bit of graphic updates as well. Some of the animations for melee attacks have been improved. Some of the animations for melee animations should look better and more smooth. Now also on the map, on the satellite, there's been some changes to shipments and enemy attack frequencies. Now again, if you're using a lot of mods, you might not even notice those changes, but they are there. There's been a small change to the repair operation as well, which basically means that if you have one group of mercs in your sector, you can pretty much repair anything they have on them, but prior to this update you couldn't repair stuff from other people's squad. If we make a squad with only live wire and she has absolutely nothing on her and there's nothing in the sector, but these guys have all the stuff still, you can still make an operation with her for repairing items. Choose live wire and repair everything else, and repair all the stuff on all the other mercs in the sector. Now, apart from the things I mentioned here, there's a ton of minor bug fixes and major bug fixes. It's too many to go through right here, but you can go read them on the Steam page where they are all listed and what they are doing. Now, patch 1.3, which should be next, is the Bobby Ray's store update, and I'm really looking forward to that and seeing what they can do. For now, but we have no time frame on when that will be out. Also, there's not a lot of new mods coming out right now, so I haven't been doing so many videos on different mods because I've covered pretty much all of the interesting ones. There are some mercenary mods out there, but I don't know how interesting it is to see a ton of different mercenaries. If you want to see some of them, if you want me to showcase some of them, by all means leave a comment below. Other than that, Rax are out.